Wizards. Welcome to your first ever market breakdown in the Wizard chat. It's been a long time coming. I'm very overwhelmed. The team are overwhelmed to see such a like-minded community of people finally get together. And more importantly, I'm overwhelmed to see the platform go live, to see all of you guys enjoying it, the screenshots, everything you guys are sending, the videos, the profiles, the examinations. You guys are blasting through those examinations super quickly already. So it's been a great day, and again, it's been a good week as well. To kickstart 1st of December, the festive season has been kickstarted with the launch of the Wizard platform. So I hope you guys are enjoying absolutely everything you're seeing so far. And again, just remember, what you are seeing right now will be subject and due to change very soon. There will be a continuous stream of new features and new content being implemented within the platform throughout your journey as a wizard. So what that essentially means is, alongside the Discord and all of the stuff you see in the platform now, if you haven't already seen on the website, I know some of you guys just ran to get the course straight away without even looking at the website, which, understandable. There's a lot of loyalty within this community, and we cannot appreciate that any further. But I would still recommend actually having a look at the website and seeing what you get within your lifetime membership. Now, if you look at Evolve, one thing in particular that we've introduced into the Wizard group is called Evolve. Now, that means new tools, new features, let's just say a new strategy, a new indicator. It could be absolutely anything. I will be creating video content for that, updating the course content. It will be evolving as you grow. When it comes to the platform features and the tools, if there is something new in the market or some kind of new analytical figure we could look at, it will be incorporated within the platform. So this will be an evolving process. It will be never ending, and the platform will continuously change and adapt as well, depending on many other factors that I don't want to reveal all of the surprises just yet. But we have a very exciting time ahead of us, and I often compare the Wizard platform to the likes of the crypto market, the same way we're in a technically the infancy stage still to some aspects of the crypto market. I would say exactly the same is the case for the Wizard platform. We are essentially early investors and in the infancy stage of the platform, and looking at what it could potentially become in a matter of 5 years. Again, we've kept this secret for a very long time, and even though the product has been there, it's been working, it's been ready, we've wanted to wait for the right time to release it. So hopefully now that you're on the platform, you can see that we've kind of disregarded any theories or anything anyone's had to say about us, and we've kind of shown you that we are the real deal, and we have put blood, sweat, and tears into this project. So again, hope you're all enjoying that so far. But more importantly, just wanted to give a quick update on BTC and XRP in particular. Now, XRP is looking pretty horrific. There's a reason I haven't really been trading this right now, but BTC has been a bit of an interesting one. So again, we had the trade running, the intraday trade in between the overall short position that was actually closed out in break even last night. Now, due to all the hype of the platform, I didn't really have time to check the charts too much. I wanted to make sure everyone was having a good experience on the platform, and I loaded the Discord Wizard chat, as you guys are in now, obviously. I loaded that in advance with all kinds of different ideologies and philosophical, not even philosophical, but actual strategies. So I wanted you guys to enter the Discord chat, and then the first thing you see is a step-by-step guide on how to actually manage, execute, plan, and even prepare for a trade. So I hope the BTC trade was a good insight from the $7,900 region that was obviously given out publicly. And then from there, looking at how that's played out so far, it's looking really good overall, to be honest with you. You're looking at around 561 pips of that particular movement alone. There was barely any drawdown. I mean, you were literally looking at around $30 drawdown at max on a BTC chart. So you barely would have even gone into the negative. So it was almost a perfect trade. And to be honest with you, that still is a perfect trade in my opinion. If you dropped over to the daily, you would have seen there the second day didn't even go back to the entry price, just straight down. So perfect call from the BTC side. Now, looking at the long opportunity, I've realized that there will be a lot of new wizards within the community, and there will be a lot of people who do not fully understand or have grasped the concepts of this trading strategy yet. Now, first thing I must stress, please make sure you are going through the course content. Even if it's not the blockchain stuff, I would rather you just go through everything anyway. Even if you do not want to learn about, let's just say, blockchains, or you just don't want to learn about cryptos altogether, stable coins, blah, 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 I would still advise doing so anyway, because it never hurts to have that little bit of extra knowledge. And again, in the future, it will just help you gain more confidence in actually understanding a market you are now a part of. Now, I'm looking to be here for a very long time. I'm looking for the crypto space to be here for a very long time, which means I want you guys here for a very long time as well. So it's in all of our best interest to become the best person we can be, not just from a trading aspect, but also from a overall life aspect as well. So we're here for overall growth. We're here to become bigger people, and we are here to elevate in every single possible way. I'm not just talking trading. I want you guys good at everything. I want you guys having the correct mindset to start your own business one day, or to go on your own and do something and break out of that 9 to 5. That is the purpose of this entire collective package. So please make sure you've watched the technical videos as well, just to understand the strategies overall. But all in all, hopefully you can start understanding these videos as well. I'll be making these as easy and as simplistic as I possibly can, especially in the beginning phases, as you guys start to really understand what's going on. And then from there onwards, we can mix it up, throw in some more, technical or trickier strategies or different implementations. But for the time being, I'm sure we can make more than enough money just simply doing what we've been doing for 8 months anyway. So let's just start off with this. Let's just look at the overall bigger picture and understand the trade first, because I do not want the intraday long opportunity, the little long that was entered here, I do not want that confusing you with me going short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long. That's not how I trade. I do not, enter a short and then go, damn, that's it, I'm out, let's change. No, it doesn't work that way, because that is unnecessary risk and that is considered over trading. But the beauty is when you have a solid risk management structure and when you actually understand the power of stop losses. Now, everyone knows I've made a video called stop losses are not the enemy, because stop losses are known predominantly throughout every single trader as a detrimental and negative thing. But I view stop losses very different. I view stop losses as a savior. And a good example was, whilst I was so busy working on the platform yesterday and working on all of the stuff that we were doing behind the scenes, whilst getting a Discord set up, I wasn't really too awake. We ended up going to bed around 8:30 a.m. in the morning in UK time, so we haven't really been sleeping for a few days as well. Now, considering I was in that current state and I was obviously a little bit tired and, overworked to some extent. Now, considering looking at trading at the same time, it can be a very time constraining job. If I didn't have a stop loss in place, I probably would have got a little bit more of a drastic loss than I should have. And that is because the stop loss is there to save you. And it's as simple as that. As long as you enter a trade and you understand you're looking at 0.5 to 1% risk, especially in the beginning phases. If you're new to trading, I do not want you guys exceeding more than 1% risk ever. I give it a year or two, or give it a few months. If you're very, very confident and you're seeing profitability, you can increase that to 1.5 to 2% risk per trade. But all in all, you guys should be going for around 0.5 to 1%. That way, you're literally, if you're doing 1% risk, you have to lose 100 trades in a row to actually blow your account. Now, if we lose 100 trades in a row, then goodness gracious me, I don't know where I went wrong in life. So let's just understand that will likely never happen, because I will never allow 100 losses in a row to ever happen. Even 50 in a row, even 10 in a row is a bit drastic. I think the most I've ever had in the past year in terms of losing streak, I think it was 2 or 3. So it does occasionally happen. Every trader will always fall into a losing streak at some point. But the goal here is to understand a losing streak, let's just say a 3 in a row with 1% risk, is only a 3% risk and a 3% loss overall on your overall account size. So actually, as long as you're sticking to your risk management guidelines, even if you lost 10 in a row, 10% isn't too bad, considering the majority of trades here will make you a lot more than that. Now, if you did take this call, again, you didn't even need a wide stop loss for this. I've moved this down a bit just to represent the stop loss being lower, because you obviously can't show break even. But I forgot what the stop loss was roughly, but all in all, it was a very solid trade. There was 0 drawdowns. So I'm going to be getting very soon as well, I'm going to be getting into more detail regarding how these precise entries can really maximize your trading profitability as well. So that'll be in a video for another time. That'll be coming soon as well. But I just want you guys to understand here that the overall bigger picture for me has always been short. I've been looking at this short opportunity for an incredibly long time now. And if you have been an avid follower of myself, you would know since we actually touched the $14,000 region, I called for 8,500. and $8,000, which has come through just there. And then from there, I progressively said the $6,000 region is looking increasingly likely and is looking to be one of the final levels. So when I say final levels, I mean $5,000 to $6,000, in my opinion, right now is looking like the final floor for 2019. And I believe from there onwards, we could be seeing some very interesting things occurring. So let me just mark this out around there. You can see the $6,000 region. Actually, we'll drop that a bit lower. So we've got a lot of wick activity within this zone. So this is something that makes me a bit curious to see that inverse head and shoulders actually potentially occurring. Now you can see the shoulder, you can see the head, and you can see the potential shoulder formation forming here. Shoulder, head, shoulder. I did use that tool the other day. Pretty cool tool. First time ever actually using it, but it gives away a nice little impression of what's going on here. So boom, boom, just approximately. Again, doesn't have to, again, there's even a trend line there actually. So if you want to put things into a bit more perspective, you can see here, like if we did dip down, let's just say to $5,000, that would also be pretty close to the trend line over there. So if we were to see such a movement like that, then all in all, it is looking pretty good because you've got a sloping trend line. Now that that's just formed, you can also see there's now perfect rejection there, trend line holding perfectly there. Boom, boom, trend line over there as well. Again, this tool's just done it for me. I would never really use this, but I'm just showing you how there are many confluences aligning. Now, conveniently, that is exactly where we've got a support floor drawn as well. And over here, it's just random space, to be honest with you. It's just to kind of visualize where a potential right shoulder could form or where the wicks could peak. But what we're looking at here is looking pretty solid for that potential movement to the downside. Overall, we have to understand we are still in a bear trend. No matter how good this year was, at the end of the day, when you're looking from a longer term perspective, we have actually just formed a new lower high from a weekly or monthly perspective. So we're overall in a bear trend still, especially when looking from a monthly. And you can see over here, nice reversal, pull back down, land swipe, maybe straight is the word I was looking for, into the sweet spot over here. And then from here onwards, I believe this would fulfill that final level. At the end of the day, when we broke through this crucial resistance level of $6,000, we've never actually come back down to retest it. Now, looking at prior price action, I actually called the breakthrough of this level as well last year, and nobody believed me when I said this was going to become a possibility. So I've always understood the importance of $6,000, and I realize now, looking at how this market's moving, this should be a major region of interest, but it doesn't take away from what I'm actually trying to achieve here. So if I show you the longer term perspective, you can see we've broken through now. We've actually broken through resistance, rejected the next level of resistance, pulled back down, and we're now resting at this level as support. So broken through resistance is now turned as support. This is why, again, stop loss in break even as well, I'm still looking to potentially consider entering a long position. Now, because I missed the short opportunity myself, this is also a great lesson for all of you who took the short position and followed the guidelines. So the beauty is when you're catching a short position like this, it's perfect during profit. You can afford to take, let's just say, take half the risk that you did on the overall short position. You know this is your overall target down here. Let's just say here to $6,000, whatever it may be. Even if it's $6,000, it's still a huge trade to capture. So let's just use this as an example and go over to the 1 hour time frame just to visualize this a bit further. So you're already in a huge amount of profit. You can see you've fallen down, great risk to reward. You could potentially make 10 times your account size on this trade. Literally, I mean 10 times your position size. So whatever you've risked, let's just say you've risked $100. That means you could potentially make $900 if this trade came through. And this is the importance of risking that 1% mark. Now, let's just say 1% for you is $100 and you end up making $900. You've now bought yourself room to take an extra 9 trades without even detrimenting your initial account size. It's a win-win situation. So understanding that theory here, here's what I've done in that situation. So we've got the overall short running in profit, which means now that you're in profit, and your stop loss, crucial, stop loss is in profit now. So now that your stop loss is in profit and your stop loss for this trade, if you are taking this trade, can be placed around 7,750 if need be. You can take profits now if you want, maybe 10-20% as advised from the trend line. 10-20% of profits would be taken around this zone. So if you've done that, you've now profited, you've now got a stop loss in profit or break even. You cannot physically lose this trade. But here's what you can do. If you do look to catch a potential intraday opportunity, let's say from here up to there, remember the head and shoulders looking beautiful, if I say so myself. Just mark that out, the shoulders, the head, the potential shoulders. Plot of Fibonacci as well. This is now you can see how I just start going crazy on those confluences. Drag that over there. Boom, you've got the 61.8 aligned quite nicely with that zone as well. 78.6 precisely at that zone level over there as well. It really is a win-win situation. So understanding all of this, we can get rid of this now and potentially put the odds in our favor. I'm not really confident re-entering because at the end of the day, closed out in break even, it's a saving grace. But here's why the stop loss was so crucial. And here's why in the Discord chat, I did say stops can be moved to break even if you wish. Risk-free is always the first goal. Now, I literally ended up only closing out around $100 profit, even though that was a pretty good move. I'm not really too fussed by that. It doesn't really bother me. It's nothing to really be of concern. So going back over here, just to show you this for now, here's why this is so beautiful. Because even if you got stopped in break even on that long trade, as long as you entered and followed the guidelines of the short trade, the only worst case scenario is you're going to end up with more profit. And here's my point. Because you entered here, again, stop loss was at break even. Your short then falls into profit and continues making more profit. Your position will now, if this breaks through, which it probably will do, to be honest with you, if this does fall lower, straight towards the next region of around $6,800, what will occur from there is your overall short position will fall into profit. You've closed out at break even, so you've lost nothing on this trade. Now, if we fall to $6,800, we now have another potential long opportunity on our hands, which means your trade will now be around over halfway towards its profit target. It's looking amazing. You'll be in great amount of profit. So you can afford to take, let's just say you've risked 1%, you can afford to risk a 0.5%. Even if you've risked 1% or 0.5%, you could even risk around 0.5 to 1% as well if price started falling lower towards your target. This means even if you risk 0.5% or even 1%, but your trade is up, let's just say 7% or 8%, it really is a win-win situation. You cannot complain if you've made 8% on a single trade and you've ended up detrimenting it by an extra 0.51%. You have to look at this long-term and look at the numbers here and understand that if you do lose 3 trades in a row, that may be just for the week, but for the week ahead, you may win 5 trades in a row, and then for the remainder of the month, you may even win 17 or 20 trades. You have to look long term. Do not dwell on any losers, because I will always stress this in every video. We do not consider a trade a loss. We do not consider anything a loss. In the worst case scenario, it's a lesson. I do not want to see messages of people saying, I've blown my account off this trade. Oh my God, I've been liquidated, because you shouldn't be getting an account blown in a single trade. If you've blown an account or wiped out the majority of your account in a single trade, that means your risk management is horrific, and we do not want horrific risk management over on this side. So the first thing I could advise is everything I say in here falls into the guidelines of 0.5 to 1% risk. I may occasionally even take more risk. I'm confident in my skill set, and I may dabble in the extra 2%, whatever it may be. I do that from time to time if the setup provided is solid. I do not do that for every setup. It's once in a blue moon. But all I'm saying is the calls that I give, you should not be blowing any accounts. It's never happened to me in a single trade. So, well, it's happened to me in the beginning when I first started, and I've had to learn from those mistakes, and I've come a long way from starting at a very tender age of around 14. So I have learned my lessons. I have learned a lot throughout being in this industry for a very long time now, and I understand the overall market dynamics of crypto. So you should not be losing any significant amount of money on any particular trade, even if we get a stop loss hit. And in most circumstances, the stop loss only gets hit once we've actually moved it to break even. So again, if we do hit break even, then everything will look good as well. I always let my stop loss get hit and break even, because at the end of the day, there is no loss that comes with it. I'm simply getting out the market before suffering a loss. The stop loss is not the enemy. Always remember that. So the first thing to really just pay attention to on this pair in particular is this trend line over here. Looking at this trend line, nice, looking pretty good. If we break above, then we can anticipate a potential retest of this trend line, and then a nice long opportunity. We can look to capture that movement again. But because we're still below this trend line, and because we are tackling this support level quite strong now, we are really looking to potentially attempt to break lower. I still think we are going to retest this region first, in all honesty, but I would not really feel confident now in entering. Again, for yourselves, by all means necessary, you can do so. It's still a pretty good entry to enter and to consider. You're looking at the overall lows. Stop loss can literally go just below here, and you're still looking at around a free, you could make 3 times what you're risking on this particular setup whilst the initial trade is still in profit. So just understand, if you do lose, let's just say 0.5 or 1%, if price slams down, this trade will counteract it anyway and recoup your losses almost immediately, because it will fall lower and recoup the same movement. It's literally a win-win situation. So as long as your stop loss is risky, if you're risking $100 here, but then you want to be greedy and risk $500 here, then obviously if your stop loss gets hit, you're going to have to make the whole trade back to break even, and that's not how it should be. So put that into perspective as well. But overall, I just wanted this video to be more of a welcome, more of an understanding of what's going on in the market right now, and just to give you a little brief recap on BTC as well, before we start breaking down the markets when the real action kickstarts in the charts. So this as well, just to mention, the overall target here is the $6,000 to $5,000 region. It's a long-term target, so everything we do in and between is simply just a bonus to profit even more. Imagine being able to capture a swing from here, make an extra few $100 or extra few thousand, 10,000, whatever it may be. People have different trading size accounts. Now, let's just say you've caught let's just say you were going to make from here around $10,000. You've taken an extra little trade here. You've made another $2,000-$3,000 or £2,000-3,000. Price breaks through. You can even enter more positions short if price breaks here. So because I've had stop loss hit at break even now, I'm not really willing to just jump back into the next trade. It's no point rushing. There is no rush to get into any trade whatsoever. If I drag this a bit lower, actually, you can see a bit more precision there, especially once I get the 1 hour up. So this is looking good, to be fair with you. This is looking like it could absolutely just slam through, come into this sweet spot here where the head and shoulders is located, and conveniently, the head and shoulders is also at a crucial level. The head has tapped our $7,800 resistance. So look at this, the shoulder, the head, the shoulder. We actually managed to capture this long as well. Did miss my entry, I think, by a few, I think it's $20 or so, or $80, whatever it was. But we did fall just short. I was hoping to tap 6,800 again to actually execute, but this was a great setup regardless. We've pretty much been in sync with BTC every step of the way, from the short to the short again, to the long, to the pullback, to the buy. We've pretty much been in synchronization the whole time. So judging from how it's been behaving, I am very, very curious to see if this does come through. Now, if you're like myself and you miss the short trade opportunity, then all you need to do from here is be patient. We never jump into a trade unless the trade is present. So in this instance, the trade is present, but I've just had a stop loss hit at break even. So instead of taking the additional risk, I'm going to let the market move higher to this region around here, and then I'll look to be shorting around this zone again. So obviously, because I missed this, I will not probably get a very good entry like many of you did, but I'm more than happy to enter upon seeing a solid head and shoulders formulate. So that's the overall bias for BTC right now. Just wanted to keep you updated with all of that as well. And going over to XRP, very quick one for this because I'm not liking this whatsoever. The price action right now is not looking very good. The weekly, nice rejection of the 20 cents region. Again, we covered this when XRP was all the way up here. I did warn of 20 cents, and I'm also warning of 18 to 14, 15, 14 cents. So that's 16 cents. That was crucial as well, 16 cents. But I do believe that spike could actually dip into that 15 to 14 cents territory. So a bit cautious on XRP as well right now. But judging from this, I think maybe one more test to the downside, maybe a bit of rejection over here. It's just really looking messy. And when price looks like this, I prefer to not really get involved. I feel like this will come back down to the 20 cents region again, maybe wick fish a little bit, fish out this level, find some stability, and then come back and retest around 0.24 first. I think once we see some form of retest of this broken trend line, as you can see, historical trend line over here, make that a bit more precise, but even then you can draw that there now. Now remember, if you have seen the trend line lessons in the course, you will understand the art of trend line placements and adaptation to your surroundings. As you can see, many people I've seen post screenshots of this trend line still, and I'm not being funny. That's in 2018. We are currently shifting into 2020, which means we need to focus on the most relevant price action, which means the prior wick, boom, rejection, held up nicely. Now it's over here. We can use that as a guidance, but we can also understand with this trend line here being broken and not being retested is a very high possibility, not to mention my key zone over there as well. You can see that we could see a potential sharp downside spike, quick pullback up to here to retest around 0.24 to 0.25 around this zone, fulfilling a nice movement and then bolting through in a very sharp succession towards 18 to 16 cents. And of course, with the inevitable possibility of just literally touching 15 to 14 cents. But overall closing, I believe the candle bodies will close regardless around 16 cents from a weekly perspective. So there's a great buying opportunity as well if you want to put it into that perspective, because broken counter trend as well. It is looking pretty good actually for a nice downside movement. We've broken that trend line. We haven't even retested it yet, but should we do see that retest, then boom, you can see a nice alignment with the trend line now. See a quick pullback to the upside, fish out this region, reject the trend line, roll over and dump one final time. I believe the market has one final dump left before rocketing towards the upside. Once we fulfill this final push to the downside, so for XRP, that should be around 16 to 14 cents. And then for BTC, we're looking at around $6,000 to $5,000. Then from there onwards, we should begin our market reversal and a shift of sentiment towards a more bullish bias. And then in anticipation for 2020, the BTC halving, again, historically, it's always proven well. It's worked in everyone's favor. Every 210,000 blocks, we have the halving. So it is all working hand in hand, and the bigger picture is looking incredible. But we have to focus on this current perspective for now. I've given you guys a warning way in advance of where these possible downside targets are. So as wizards, we already know that there is no need to panic, because if this does come through, we're already well prepared. And if BTC does fall, the short goes into profit, we close out, we enter long whilst also buying physical crypto. Now, just one final pointer, especially if you're new and you haven't been following me for too long, no matter what you're doing in this market right now, no matter what's going on, margin trading or whatever you're doing, you should be looking to be actually buying the likes of XRP and BTC. Maybe not BTC too much. Even I don't buy BTC too much anymore because it's just too expensive in my opinion. But the likes of XRP, huge risk to reward on these ones. I mean, the reward is huge and the risk is minimal because price is so low anyway, whereas BTC has a lot more room to fall to the downside. If you go to the BTC weekly, then my goodness, this thing could really just fall all the way realistically, if we were to just say it could fall all the way back down to its lows, well, look where its lows are. That means if you were to buy here and it fell all the way back down, it could take potentially years for it to recoup such a large movement, whereas XRP, it's basically already at the bottom. I mean, you're buying at the lows. It's a win-win situation because if it does explode from here, which we are anticipating it to do, any buys even from here, even at 30 cents or 40 cents, is still relatively cheap. BTC in comparison to this chart would be where the current price point is, would be around here. So you can understand that if XRP was to even mimic that same movement, you would make a substantial amount of money. But that's a lesson for another day, and there's a lot more to come on those topics as well. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed your first breakdown, a little bit of a warm welcome as well. And we have some very exciting things on the way. New content, new features, and all kinds of crazy Wizard lifetime membership benefits. So I hope you're enjoying the platform so far. Overwhelmed to have you all in here, and I truly hope this community grows into something revolutionary. So guys, hope you're having a good day so far, and I'll be back shortly with some more updates. Remember, it's here to be fun as well. Telegram is, we had the Telegram, we've got the Discord now, we've got the gifts going, we've got some jokes, some humor. It's all about keeping it funny, keeping it civil, keeping it real. So that's what we're here for, that's what we're here to represent, and I will not let you guys down.